Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here. Today I am very excited because we are gonna have the chance to look at some hits from one of the members of the World Champion team of Tribe Gaming. And of course, it can only be the one and only Fireball Rocket Loon god. It is Teamper. I was invited over to Crimson Sky to check some of his hits he did during the last CWL. So let's go dive into those hits. On this first hit, we have a little bit of like an anti-3-star base, I think this is called. But before we dive into it, I do want to explain a few things about the Fireball Rocket Loon strategy, because most people will probably think it's just get good fireball value and just roll across the base with ease. But I asked around a little bit because I wasn't sure either, and I don't blame you if you're one of the guys that isn't sure either. But one of the things that you're going to be looking for first is a great area to get down with your Flame Flinger. And then I was told that Teamper tries to just have the Warden get set up, but then add in the heroes for a hero dive. But going back to the beginning, once you found the area you want to Flame Flinger, then you start looking for easy and good value. And of course, with Fireball Rocket Loons, the value comes in the sort of defense that you take out. In this case, you could say that, for example, these two buildings together could be good value. I know with other Fireball hits, sometimes getting the CC or getting pathing set up is more important than the actual value that you get, but for now we are going to dive into the first hit of Teamper. We'll be starting off in this corner. Gets the Warden going, trying to eliminate some defenses with Rocket Loons, gets a furnace started to get a little bit more clearing up already done, clean up. And now we see the Flame Flinger come in. Of course, as long as we keep in mind that that range of the X-Bow, and we should be all good to have that Flame Flinger fling its flames all across the base. And we can see, of course, that we also have brought in a Ice Block spell to make sure that we can take a little bit more time for the to position the Warden to get our Invis spells down as well. And first we're going to be cleaning through some of those more outside defenses before we get ready for the Fireball. Even finding some Teslas here, adding a secondary furnace. And I think in most cases it's better to just invest a little bit more time to get the value that you're actually looking for, rather than just rushing it. And we can see here that Teamper definitely takes his time. Now gets the Ice Block spell down, gets Invis spells down. Making sure that his Fireball goes to the correct spot. Now on the Air Sweeper. Takes out CC, takes out the Monolith. Takes out a great bit of stuff. Extra Invis down to protect. As we indeed see him now bringing those heroes for the guided hero dive that I was talking about earlier. And in the meantime, of course, on the top side, that Flame Flinger is still going strong. And now we can also see him bring in some Rocket Loons to get through the outside defenses, because of course there is still about half this base left to get through, and in order for it to be a triple we do need to get through everything. But rather than trying to force his way through the inside of this base, we are going to just walk around it, because with that Fireball we took out most of the high value defenses on the inside. So this one is actually going to give us better value in the end with the super minions on the top, but they are going to get a really limited value here because the defending heroes are there. Now we are making our way to the town hall with the RC actually being sent in from the top side, cleaning up some of the defenses alongside the Rocket Loons. But of course the more important thing now is to get through the Beverage Tower and actually get to the town hall. But I think this is, again, more of a matter of, well, it's just overpowering. And everything is just going to come together onto the town hall here and onto those final 3 buildings in this base. But I think it's safe to say that this base never really stood a chance. But good luck going up against a world champion, of course. For replay number 2, we have a base that's again looking a little bit more exotic. Doesn't have the general base style that I at least was kind of familiar with. A lot of defenses and buildings on the outside, not many closed compartments. And again, we're going to be fireballing. We have the Ice Block spell. We have 5 invis to Earthquake. And let's see, I feel like, of course, ideally you might want to say, okay, yeah, let's just try and go for the crafted defense, but being all the way in the core of this base, and also considering the comment that I made earlier about looking for value, but also easy value, it is way too risky to go for that. So let's see what Team Bird does instead. I'm gonna be starting from the left, right, Jesus, gonna get that mixed up again. From the right side of this base, 3 o'clock corner. I should just stick to naming them with the hands of a clock. Gonna get some Rocket Loons in as well to start taking out those defenses on the outside. In this case, you could also argue getting it on the builder hut might get some damage on the town hall. And might even take care of the revenge tower as well. But of course, speculating is not nearly as good as just seeing what Teamper decides to do, because only he knows. And again, we have that furnace in to already start doing some cleanup, and there is the ice block. We have an invis. I'm gonna go for the fire spitter, and again that is gonna net us the CC as well, which doesn't seem to be a prerequisite or like a definite thing that you should get, but always nice to get it, because then those defensive CC troops that are always annoying to deal with are just not gonna be there. Now we see the enemy king being heavily targeted, and this is one of the great features of that CC, or of the furnace. That is definitely going to be slowing down everything that those fire spirits touch. And that's going to be a great help to the warden. Now we see him again taking his time. This time not before setting up the fireball, but after. I'm kind of curious when he is going to be coming in with those heroes for the hero dive. You could say hero charge, but I think in most cases that refers to something with healers. In the meantime, we can see that the first hero has been deployed on the top side. The dragon Duke gonna come in. Flame Flinger still doing its thing. Still going strong on the bottom. Ooh, interesting. This time we see that Teamper is not gonna go for that hero dive together with the warden. This time he's gonna do it the more, I would say, the more typical way, the more traditional way of how this attack has been done in the past. They go for heroes all apart. Well, now the warden and Dragon Duke have been brought together just by pathing. But one of the things that Teamper normally tends to do is to bring those the king and queen in together with the warden. And that is not the case this time, but again, we're going to be looking at some nice overkill here. Be getting those buildings down. I'm gonna be having spells to spare. You can see him swagging them nicely. Always like that. But again, good luck going up against the world champion. For replay number 3, we have again a little box-like base, but of course this one looking a little more familiar to what I was used to at least. And if we look at some value here, maybe one of the fire spitters, if you can get it set up, should be able to get that with your invisies. But let's see if we can maybe even spot some nice areas to Flame Flinger. Of course, one of the defenses that always tends to outrange the Flame Flinger are the mortars. Interesting that it doesn't do the select all defenses with that, but cool. And for the rest, I don't really see too many areas, so let's just see what Teamper does instead. Again, speculation is only worth so much, but it's always easier to just see what's done instead. Guessing by this replay he was taking his time to get his plan set up. But we are going to be starting with the warden again over in the 3 o'clock corner on the right side of this base. Be saying it right for once, nice. And we do find 2 Teslas right away as well. Flame Flinger this time pretty close to the Warden, but of course that is because of this ground X-bow. The Warden can be tanking for it while it's getting healed up. Making sure that it doesn't target onto the Flame Flinger, because in addition to the mortars, that is, I think, right now the only defense that will outrange the Flame Flinger. We're getting the furnace in as well. Seems to be a pretty much necessity or a given or like a standard for Warden walks nowadays. Just because it gives you so much nice cleanup already while the Warden charge is happening. But let's see, we are indeed going to go for the Flame Flinger that I thought we would. And again, going to have that nice added bonus of getting the CC out. But Warden actually getting pretty low. Gonna need a totem spell here to make sure that the Guardian doesn't lock onto the Warden. And again, another totem spell to do the same. Definitely, again, taking his time, but I feel like that's, again, also a given for attacks like this. And I think that I say the word again way too many times. Like, I feel like stuff is obvious, but then I'm still saying it. So it might be less obvious than I initially thought. As we see the Warden walk still going strong. Having a Kelly spell as well to distract the Monolith and the Super Wiz Tower. Ooh, and this time we are also going for a little split hero charge instead of bringing in the heroes with the Warden. But I only do realize now that we don't even have a queen on this attack. So go figure, right? Or holding onto a bunch of Rocket Loons to just deploy them at the last moment. The heroes are already clapping this base, so I do get it. Let's speed up to the final bits of this base, because it's way too overkill. And with that, this is going to be a third triple for Timper in this video. And with those 3 amazing hits that we've just seen, it is going to wrap up this video. Once again, a big shout out to Crimson Sky for inviting me over to check out some of their hits and allowing me to record them as well. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like down below. If you have any suggestions for hits you might want to see, for strategies I should check out, or just want to say, wow, nice video, leave that down below in the comments. And I would love to see you guys again in the next video. Bye bye.